Yeah, climate change, environmental justice possibilities. One, if you want to do some study on this issue, your best resource is the new environmental justice curriculum that has been developed by the Ministry for Earth, co-authored by Pam Spar, member of All Souls Unitarian. It's a 5-session course. You can just get it. Information's on the table. You can also do 3 other possible things. One, Pam Spar will train trainers. If a bunch of congregations get together and say we'd like to offer this course in our congregations, Pam Spar will meet with those trainers and train them to do this. Secondly, if a couple congregations get together and say we'd like to present this as one place, but as a joint project of some congregations, she will help facilitate that, and her time will be paid for by the Ministry of Earth. Incredible gift horse. Don't look it in the mouth. And number 3, perhaps most exciting, that Ministry for Earth is condensing that course for youth into like a con-con or a youth conference kind of format. They have a great young trainer or a great young facilitator who will do that. And if a bunch of congregations got together, you can offer that to your youth, or you can go to the district and ask Andrew or the district to sponsor a youth meeting about environmental justice. You should also know that this General Assembly is going to have a lot of emphasis on environmental justice stuff. Wendell Berry's been asked, and it's not too early to start talking to people about going there. Third option, Whipple, Greater Washington Interfaith Power and Light, has a bunch of free movies that they can send you. They're great conversation starters on a variety of topics. Fourth, there are 2 possible speakers that we have living right in this area on this issue, especially environmental justice. One is Van Jones, who's I'm in to reach, but he loves Unitarian Universalists, and if a bunch of congregations got together, we stand a chance to get Van Jones. And number 2, perhaps a bit easier, is, but not a downstep at all, is Jackie Patterson, who is the new NAACP's director of their Environmental Justice Task Force. And she lives in the area. She is dynamite, trust me. If you're into witness and advocacy, this happens to be an extraordinarily propitious and important time to be doing something about climate change. Obama's looking for his legacy, not toward the, he's looking at his legacy, and secondly, after Sandy, you have Bloomberg, Cuomo, et cetera, actually talking about climate change as something that might actually be happening. It's an extraordinary time. So, in terms of national advocacy, the best thing you can do, by far the biggest event going on, is coming up on Sunday, November 18th. That's 8 days from now, when Bill McKibben brings his Do the Math tour to Washington, D.C. It's going to be Sunday afternoon, 1 to 3, in a, you have to go to 350.org to get a ticket and sign in for that. And then there's going to be a march to the White House after. It's going to be the biggest upcoming event on climate. Get people there, really. This is big. Another national effort that is a number of environmental groups are looking to ask Obama to call an environmental summit in the first 90 days of his new presidency. If you want to know more about that, go to National Climate Ethics Campaign. All this stuff's out on the table, and you'll get it afterwards. Bob Doppel, et cetera, is pushing for that, along with a lot of other things. Interfaith Power and Light is also having, on February 10th, the Sunday before Valentine's Day, they're having an environmental preach-in all across the country. There are going to be services. The exact theme's not decided yet. It has usually something to do with environmental justice, but it'll be a national effort in the religious community, and then followed by heart-shaped Valentines to legislatures saying, get off the dime. If you're interested in regional advocacy and witness, on Saturday, December 8th, in Baltimore, there's going to be an all-day conference on fracking with Lester Brown and a bunch of other people. It's being put on by a whole bunch of environmental groups. If you want to know about fracking, that's the place to be. And even more immediately, this coming Tuesday, the UULM website, you can sign up for a calling thing to call legislators on this issue. UULM, again, that'll be out on the thing. If you're in Virginia, the Chesapeake Climate Action Network and a bunch of other environmental groups are focusing their efforts with the General Assembly there on improving the renewable portfolio standards for Virginia, which right now, frankly, are pathetic. And that's their focus, and there's going to be a big January day of action around this that more will be coming. Go to the Chesapeake Climate Action Chesapeake Climate Action Network website, you'll find out about that. Also in Virginia, there are some efforts around mountaintop removal, which we all know about. Talk to Bob or Lamona on that. And tomorrow in Alexandria, the VICPP, Virginia Interfaith Public Policy, is doing an event on economics, environment, and the poor. Okay, information on that outside on the table. In the springtime, there's going to be an effort in Virginia to draw up a energy future plan for Virginia, which is desperately needed, so keep your eyes on that. If you're in Maryland, there's an ongoing wind power campaign, which now that Miller got his casino, probably O'Malley will get wind power. But there's a whole thing about that, about contacting your legislators. Lastly, the Maryland Fracking campaign, there's a huge campaign around that. And I might just say, in all of this, beyond any recycling you want to do or your congregation wants to do, for God's sake, make sure your legislators know where you stand. Thanks.